Sir, does the devil exist? People do all kinds of evil acts, and why always blame goes to Satan?
Mr. Allah warned to entire humanity in Torah, Bible, Quran and all the scroll, and also he sent all the prophets from Adam to Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad to warn about Satan. He is an open enemy to all humanities.
Sir, what is the worst satanic action anyone can do in his life?
Mr. The worst satanic action anyone can do in his lifetime in this world, who claims to be Muslim, he doesn't pray his obligatory prayers, and for non-Muslims not to worship Allah alone, the Almighty Creator of the universe, galaxies, stars and all the existence, and honoring the creation, such as some people honor Jesus as God or God's Son, and others prophets, pious or look like a righteous person, or any peer, guru, statues, idols, objects or pictures, animals, and nature, etc. And people also seek help through the people, not only from Allah alone. And another worst action person can do, dealing in interest regardless of anyone who claims to be a believer of holy books such as Jews, Christians, or Muslims. If they are dealing in interest, Satan wants them to live and die in the anger of Allah and suffer here in this world and the suffering in life after death, and this is the Satan's goal, to destroy all humankind.
Sir, how can you say this? Without dealing in the interest, all the living facilities, banks, loans such as buying cars, homes, running small or big businesses and all types of credit cards, without dealing in the interest, the world economy will be a collapse.
Mr. Today the world economy is collapsing and suffering because of dealing in the interest. Mr. Interest, it is the vast topic itself. Let me brief you. As we know, dealing in the interest, every single person's life is panicky and uncertainty, which he cannot feel because Satan always gives plannings and new ideas for improvement in the life. The person works hard for his business establishment and build his line of credits. He still looks forward to increasing his line of credit to buy a more expensive car, home, and establish his business, and Satan never lets him feel the satisfaction in his worldly life. As we know, every human has to feel the taste of the death, which can be any second, regardless we are healthy, wealthy, or holding any status. Ultimately no one has choice. We will go back to Allah with empty hands, without wealth. Nevertheless, how much money and properties you leave behind, but nobody will ready to give you company even for few hours in your grave. If the dead body of mother or father after their death, all of a sudden they would say, I am going forever. I left all my wealth and properties for you, come close to me. I want to hug you. He will shock, scream and run away. We should realize, our whole life, we work hard to pay our mortgages and bills. By the time of paying off the mortgages, our life almost get over to enjoy our properties, and after the real death, money goes into the hands of family members which they don't give the value. Satan makes them to blow out within no time. Let me share my experience. I was in high brand name watches business once. One of my customers came to buy the leather band for his Rolex watch. I show him the high quality band worth of $50. He started laughing. I purchased this original watch from garage sale only for $15. The brand new worth was over $5,000 because it has belonged to his grandfather who passed away. Children didn't know the value of the watch. Maybe they thought, this is imitation watch, that's how it's easy comes and easy goes. As we know, our life is transitory. Still, Satan never lets us think about death is the fact of our experience. And Satan keeps us encouraged to establish the status and bank balance for our life on loans and interest. Still, he never let us plan to prepare for Judgment Day to face Allah the Almighty Creator until the surprise of death comes. The person dealing in interest his whole life feels unsecured. This is the worst thing anyone can do, never satisfy the blessings of Allah. I don't know why people fail to realize about satanic views and planning, and we all know, after death, all the wealth and properties have no value for the dead person. When people are dealing with bank loans, people think they are rich in society but unable to realize and forget they don't own their properties, they are just users and trustee of money. The mortgage is the rent of the money for their property, and if the financial status changes, they'll lose their jobs or business, then they fail to pay the mortgage. They'll lose their properties, and also they fail to realize most of the installment goes to pay the interest. Those people who cannot get bank loans, they think they are the loser in society. Some of them become not thankful to Allah. Today, because of interest, people, and even the countries are suffering. They have to pay back trillions of dollars with the interest of their loans, which comes from taxpayers' money. That is how Satan damages people and the world economy. On the other hand, because of the interest in the world, poor getting more poor and rich getting more richer. Somehow people suffering from dealing in interest. Many people love to do the shopping on credit cards. Whatever they want to spend they spend in their limit. When payment time comes, then realize they're overspending for less income and more bills to pay, because of the pressure. They face many health issues such as stress, coma, diabetes, heart problems, etc., and their life survival depends on medicines. After all kinds of suffering, we should avoid dealing in interest to save ourselves from the anger of Allah's ills. If the person doesn't ask for forgiveness in the lifetime, they are gaining the anger of Allah, and Allah will punish them here and hereafter. In the Holy Quran, Chapter 2 verses 275 to 280 are about the interest. Allah warns to the entire humanity, especially Muslims. If you do not stop dealing in interest, then you prepare to war with Allah and His Prophet Muhammad.
الذين يأكلون الربا لا يقومون إلا كما يقوم الذي يتخبطه الشيطان من المس ذلك بأنهم قالوا إنما البيع مثل الربا وأحل الله البيع وحرم الربا فمن جاءه موعظة من ربه فانتهى فله ما سلف وأمره إلى الله ومن عاد فأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون.
Those who consume interest will stand on Judgment Day like those driven to madness by Satan's touch. That is because they say, trade is no different than interest. But Allah has permitted trading and forbidden interest. Whoever refrains after having received warning from their Lord may keep their previous gains, and their case is left to Allah. As for those who persist, it is they who will be the residents of the fire. They will be there forever.
Sir, does Satan exist? Why we cannot see him and why he stuck with us?
Mister, let me tell you how Satan works with humans. Whenever any human born one jinn his fellow, also born with him, jinn's IQ is equal to the 10 years old kid. Satan is also from jinns. Easily, he convinces the fellow jinn to follow him. And this jinn becomes a Satan follower because Allah allows Satan to stay with humans for their test from birth to death. Allah gave permission to Satan to misguide those people who are seeking misguidance during their lifetime, and Satan plays all types of dirty tricks on people. He puts glares, and he beautifies the wrong deeds to commit the sins. The person is responsible and decision maker on his actions with his own choice. Their test is if their life according to the laws of Allah commands and teachings of Prophet Muhammad or his actions are from Satan.
Sir, how can anyone save himself from Satan?
Mister, save from Satan. To protect himself from the devil, to have control his temptation, let me share a story. A young man around 28 years old went to Orlando, Florida. He picked up a girl, spent a night with her. In the morning she wrote with a lipstick, "Welcome to AIDS Club." When he back to Toronto, his blood test was positive. On TV interview he was crying, "What I have done wrong?" There is only a straightforward solution for all humanity to protect the life regardless of his status. Follow the total commands of Allah and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad. As they said, don't come close to any sin. That's the reason Allah sent the religions, to protect the humans from Satan.
Sir, is there any God why he cannot save us from the suffering of Satan?
Mister, if there wouldn't be a God, everything would be upside down. That's why Allah sent prophets and holy books, Torah, Bible and Quran, with all his laws and regulations to save the entire humanity.
Sir, judging your explanation about Satan, then tell me why people get punished because of Satan?
Mister, if you ask anyone what the final destination of Satan, he will say hellfire. Then how about Satan followers from humanity? They will say, they will also be in the hellfire with Satan.
Sir, how the power and system of Satan work on humans?
Mister, let me give you an example. Satan has no power to damage anyone if anyone is browsing the internet. He has a choice to watch contaminated sites or good sites. Satan doesn't hold the finger to go on the dirty websites or YouTube. He is the one who decides for good or wrong. Satan doesn't stand in the corner to misguide you. Satan just whispers and puts the attraction on the inappropriate sites to destroy the person's future in front of Allah.
Sir, how can one Satan destroy billions of humans from hundreds of thousands of years in the past?
Mister, Satan asked permission from Allah to misguide Adam and his children's generations until the last day of the world. Satan's life, activities, and goals will end at the same time. The chief of Satan is all the followers of Satan from humans. Engines are in his army with billions of Satan followers and always multiplying and implementing his wrong actions.
Sir, why did Allah create Satan to give us troubles?
Mister, Allah didn't create the Satan to do wrong actions. When Allah asked Satan prostrate to the Adam and Satan used his pride and smartness, no one has right to say but and why the front of Allah he said you made me from the fire, you made him from the clay. Don't forget Satan never refused to prostrate Allah. We should realize how much Allah is merciful to humankind who disobey day and night and follows the footsteps of Satan, and Allah's door of mercy always open for all humanity until they are alive. But humans never admire and pay thanks to Allah. That's why humanity is always in trouble and facing all kind calamities, but still, Allah always take out from their problems.
Sir, what is the solution of the worst calamity of humankind by Satan anyone can face?
Mister, Allah doesn't allow any small or big wrong action. If the person applies, he has to suffer here or after death.
Sir, I don't know about hereafter. Just tell me how the person can suffer during his lifetime.
Mister, when the person tells first lies or cheats, smoke drugs, drinks alcohol, gambling or prostitution, the first time person hesitates to commit any sin because the mercy of Allah wants to save from the evil and does not feel comfortable to do these actions. Likewise, he follows any religion or not. Satan whispers you don't want to be looser and left out from the modern society, and also he gets pressure from family, friends and his relatives, and that is tough for him to decide. If you lose your confidence and listen to Satan, you have no choice to commit the sins.
Sir, how you can say entertainment is a sin? I know to lie, and cheating is sinning, but how you say other activities are sins, they're entertainment? How you can blame Satan for life's enjoyment?
Mister, yes, I agree you cannot blame Satan, but he whispers and shows all kinds of fun and entertainments. We are one who follows the calls and actions of Satan. Maybe you are wondering how people can destroy this type of entertainment. Let me give some details. First, I give you details of lies and cheating. 1. Lies, or cheating. The person has to support with 10 lies to prove he is not lying, such as some lawyers or professionals. They don't care dignity or their honor to show their lies are trustworthy. Regardless, person has to face the death penalty or bankruptcy, or in the divorce cases instead of minding the relations. Mostly, lawyers don't care for settlement. Smoking drugs and drinking alcohol. Many times, people become alcoholics because people lose their senses. Some of them even involved in sexual harassment with daughters, sisters, or their sons, and many alcoholics end up in homeless conditions. Let me share a story. Back in the 80s, there was a famous TV actor, Susan Sommer. Her father was a gentleman. As long he was not drunk, he built one room in basement with steel door to protect his family from his harassment and tortured. If there is no more alcohol available to save themselves, they had to spend the nights in the basement room. If someone is wearing George Armani suits in the bar and he is out of money, and he is drunk screaming for alcohol, they will throw him out. If the dog comes and pee on him, he will say it is raining. And whoever engaged in gambling, 90% they lose. Many of them face bankruptcy, or because of gambling in Las Vegas, or around the world, people are homeless. Torah, Bible, and Quran, all these actions and activities are prohibited.
Sir, I like your explanation about Satan, but what are the holy books Torah, Bible or Quran says about Satan?
Mister, Torah and Bible final revelation is the Quran says about Satan. Some details are as follows. 2:34 And we said to the angels, bow down to Adam. They bowed down, except for Satan. He refused, was arrogant, and was one of the disbelievers.
For more informative videos, please do subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for all upcoming videos notification. Like this video and share with your family and friends.
I suggest you to read Quran in your language for more understanding of Almighty God Allah.
For more information visit ishthereanygod.com.
Allahu 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 Allah Allah